Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Before we start, quick disclaimer, anything we discuss is just for educational purpose, nothing is financial advice. Alright guys, so another nice day, I mean it was a red day in the market, but those who have those who know my teachings, those who watch my previous videos, the playlist of the red days in the market. Red day is also an opportunity. Whether you are long, you can hedge and make money on the short side, or even if you are not long, you can also just trade on the downside with Ripster Clouds. And usually these days are huge days, big days, like I'll show you, because it's an elevator down. Everything was dumping today. Bitcoin was dumping, SPY, QQQ, the Hotties, IWM, everything was dumping. There were so many opportunities. Literally you just had to short at the open, or short with the cloud system, or you could short or buy puts and just enjoy the ride down. So this was opposed to FOMC sell-off. So I will teach you all that. If you are new here, we will talk all about that account growth with the red market, how to profit with the shorts, hedge your longs, and VIX strategy, life-changing strategy in the clouds. Before we do that, just do a quick introduction to anybody who's new to our X accounts, new to my YouTube accounts, or new to our community. So we trade a repeatable system called Ripster EMA Clouds System, which also includes my teachings, the teachings on various concepts, technical teachings, day trade, swing trade, investing that I have been teaching free to the traders over 8-9 years on X, on YouTube, on ripstereducation.com. You can go to ripstereducation.com and you can see the impact my education has helped over the traders for over the years. We also use this same strategy, same setups, everything in our trading community, Tanner Trade group, one of the largest live trading educational community, where I'm live on the voice, where I'm trading with the members, where I'm live on the screen as well. We have a lot of tools there. We have 3-4 free stock scanners, option scanners, breaking news alerts, squawk alerts, order flow, MOC. We have free tools that once anybody joins the community, you do not need any other tools. They're like $600 a month, which are freely available to the traders. A lot of my webinars, my PowerPoint courses are also available there. Of course, you can learn for free from my YouTube. I have 1,000+ YouTube videos, timestamp recaps, 1,000+ timestamp trade recaps, live trade recaps. You can learn from those anything you want to learn. So that's what I'm going to show you today, how we did it, how today was an amazing day. This goes into the playlist of making profits on the red day in the market. We usually have a plan in the pre-market. The plan you see in the front, I make this plan live, which has the news plays, which has the Mag 7s, which has upgrades, downgrades. I highlight anything which I feel important as a red. I give a support level, resistance level. I tell the traders what to do in the pre-market plan, and this is what we will go through, and I will show you exactly how it works out. My traders literally take this plan in Ripster Cloud System and they just make a daily bread. They're done in first 30-40 minutes, and that's how they consistently grow their accounts. We also trade something called day 2 day 3 strategy. This strategy also I did a free webinar on X on YouTube. We'll cover a few of our day 2 day 3 setups. These setups are provided to the traders in the pre-market. In addition to that, we also trade crypto stocks. Today was a beautiful day on the crypto stocks. We'll go through it when we'll talk about the shorts there. We trade futures. Today was an amazing day for the futures, shorts as well, and some midday calls. We'll discuss that. We also trade IPOs. We trade low floats. We keep eyes on the market. We are always first ones to see what the market is doing, and have a big watch on the market. All right, that being said, a quick introduction. Let's start with today's recap. We're already late, so I'm going to try to go through it pretty fast and show you how we did it. Let's start. So let's start with SPY QQQ today. So it was a monster day. It was literally a monster day. If you shorted the market, if you traded SPY QQQ, you will literally turn your $1,000 into $10,000 today. That was the kind of day, and you don't really need to risk too much. You risk less, make more. So what was happening? So today, the most important SPY. Yesterday we had FOMC. We had a bunch of earnings. So we always watch after FOMC how the action is. We watch the all sectors. I covered that in detail in my market analysis webinar, as well as in my previous YouTube recaps. But our focus today was on the MTF clouds and the VIX strategy. So if you go to ripstereducation.com, you go to SPY VIX trades, you can study how the SPY VIX strategy has been changing live since 2020, 2021. You will see that. So that's what we implemented in the market today. So when we came up this morning, when we got up to trade this morning, let's look at the market. Let's take a look here. All right, so market was kind of gapping up and flat. Let's see what was our pre-market plan on the market. It becomes a little bit more clear here. Let's go there. So pre-market plan on the market: VIX 17, 1720 key levels. Market is choppy. Market is choppy in the pre-market, so no bullish bias unless VIX breaks 17. If VIX breaks under 17, we will be bullish. Simple. But if VIX breaks out of the 17 towards 18, we will be bearish, right? So that was the plan. Simple plan. Market a little flat to choppy after big earnings. That was our simple plan. So what did we have? What did we have here? So what we had here was right where the market opened. Right, I was looking at a lot of things. A lot of things were heavy. Microsoft was super duper heavy. Microsoft was heavy. Bitcoin was heavy. A lot of sectors were heavy. Some things were bouncing. Yes, Meta was a little bit bouncing here, but that also started to give up. So when I see all that, and then I see that the VIX is rising. VIX is rising over 17. Right away, you take it short. I told the traders, avoid longs, take shorts, amateur shorts with high of the candle as VIX breaks out. VIX breaks out. So what did we do? So you shorted. You do not hesitate. You take a short. VIX is going higher. Microsoft is selling. It's a short. And guess what? We are hitting MTF clouds here. So I told the traders to have a stops at 633 on QQQs right here, and stops on SPY 696.60. That's all you had to do. Get in right away. Buy few puts. If it's amateur move, turns a trend move, you see this is MTF cloud breaking down, you can always add into it, or you can cover at 10 a.m. So I told the traders, gave the traders the first target of the MTF. The second target I gave was 629 right here, and SPY I gave the target of MTF clouds. You see, from MTF to the MTF, right? Even at 10 a.m. you see VIX breaking out of 18, you hold your puts. VIX breaking out of 18, you hold your puts. I told the traders, VIX 18, next breakout, SPY QQQ, back to lows, MTF targets, and you see by the 10 a.m. we pushed into the MTF clouds, one Ripster MTF to the next MTF, and even if we broke that, we went to the next MTF on QQQ's monster short, guys, monster short. And I told the traders you could roll into further puts when VIX keeps breaking 18 and 19 towards 20. I was looking for the 20 rejections, but we rejected 1974, and then finally we curled, we got out. We did play the curls, I will show you that later, but this was the short setup. You had to take Ripster clouds bearish, Ripster labels bearish, the QQQ. If you could trade anything, you could trade the options. Let's say you were on 626 puts to start the day out of the money. Those went from $2 to $8, 2,000 to 8,000, right? 200 to 800. So that was a home run trade. And you could always buy a further lotto. You could buy further. Once let's see by 10 a.m. you're already making money on T626 puts. Then you can buy the further lottos. You can go to 625 puts or something like that, or you could even go to 620 puts. Let's say you made $1,000, you take $400, you buy 620 puts for $2, they go to 500. So you double your money right there as well. So that's how you don't really need huge accounts to trade this. You could literally trade 2 contracts and grow your $2,000 account, turn it into a $3,000 in a single day. Or you could trade QQQ, you could trade SPY, of course you could always trade NASDAQ futures. If you look at the future levels that we provide, if you see the ES levels, pause the screen, NASDAQ levels, once we break these clouds, you can just take the short on the futures, and you will see that it works beautifully with the clouds futures as well. MTF to the MTF magnet on the NASDAQ futures as well. MTF magnet setup. You short it here, you hold your shorts with the Ripster clouds, you're gonna get huge wins. Look at this NASDAQ, almost from 26,100 all the way to 25,500. So you see almost 600 points there you could take on the NASDAQ futures. You can always trade leverage ETFs. I have the full list of that. I did the leverage ETF webinar. You could trade SPXL, you could trade TQQQ, you could trade SQQQ. You could literally trade anything that you like that moves with the market. Options, leverage ETFs, futures, you could literally make insane amount of money. Even let's say if you are long, you are doing some swings, you buy some QQQ puts, you hedge your puts with the next week puts. So you are long on Google, but you can short the QQQs, and you can make money there. While your Google long is losing money, you would make and hedge and cover that loss with the puts right here with the QQQ. So that's how you hedge. You can always sell your calls when it's breaking down. So Google was a big short today. Google was a beautiful short under the MTF Clouds, MTF Magnet, and you could literally sell the calls, or you could even buy puts and hedge your long and at least make money, because you're already there are many ways. We'll do some option webinar on it, but you respect the Ripster Clouds. You do not long, you do not touch the long. Nobody, the biggest thing is, nobody in my community under my teachings, nobody's long here. We were not losing money. Let's say we were not making let's say even if you were not making money on the short side, but nobody was losing money, right? That's why over 60% traders were still green in the community. We had a lot of flat people, new traders, but we do not go, and my voice guidance continuously I talk about it, the setups, that we just need to stay short, and we do not buy dips. Imagine what anybody who was buying dips here thinking too low, he just got destroyed. And I'm continuously on voice telling traders, no, you do not buy. You just do not buy the calls or longs right here. That's not your setup. I don't care if it bounces 30 points. I don't care if it bounces suddenly all the way up. I don't really care, because that's not my setup, and I'm already making the money on the downside. I'm already risking $1,000 and making $6,000-$7,000 on the downside. I have no reason. Of course, we see the MTF Magnets, a D- setup. If you're an advanced trader, you read the market. When VIX rejected, you should see the power of VIX, right? The VIX strategy. When VIX rejected 20, you could take a D- setup, but you really need to know the strategy to take the setup against the cloud. If I see VIX is rejecting 20, if it's rejected, I will take the dip. Again, a D- setup, not an A+ or B+ setup. But the thing is, it's a VIX strategy. We breaking 17 plus MTF Cloud, buy the puts, short the shares. Breaking 19, hold the puts. Pushing to 20, hold the short. Rejecting that area, be ready to cover it. Watch the VIX closely. SPY VIX strategy, changing the lives. Use the clouds, use the VIX strategy in this high volatile environment. That's how you can make really, really good profits with the red market. Analyze the market, look at Mag 7, look at the VIX, look at what all the sectors are doing. Today doing the sector analysis. If I look at today, a lot of our sectors were heavy today. You just need to see, you have to have your market analysis. You will see the lot of sectors were super duper heavy today. Yes, we bounced later in the day, but in the morning when we were when the day started, most of the gold and silver, the commodities, all of those were dumping. And then you see that they were dumping. Cloud stocks, software was the biggest dump. You see all day cloud stocks were dumping, big. Crypto was dumping, this green line. You see then solar was dumping all day long. Semiconductor was a relatively stronger, you see here. But you see these things when dumping. Let's say the crypto is dumping, then you take the BTC, Bitcoin shorts. So that's what I told the traders as well, that when crypto is a short, so we provide these levels in the community to, and I was on the voice, you short coin, MSTR, you short those names, you short from our day 2 plan. We have this BMNR, we provide all those names, BMNR, MSTR, circle. You can watch these levels, bearish bias to short, circle, trade versus 1 hour long, or short under that, BMNR. So all those, even in my pre-market planning, I told the traders, watch the BTC day 2 setups. So I know Bitcoin is selling off. So when Bitcoin is selling off, I want to make money with that. I want to use that opportunity. To trade. You can buy puts on IBIT, Bitcoin ETF, right? It's breaking the clouds, breaking the pre-market lows, buy the puts, right? You keep the Bitcoin open, do that. We give you levels of MSTR. I was on the voice. You could literally short the Bitcoin, take the MSTR down. We were all short in the community on all that as well. MSTR, circle, BMNR. Just respect the clouds, look for the bounces. If you are nervous, if you have hard time trading the red market, just take one share, not one contract, 100 shares, 10 shares, whatever makes sense to you, whatever you are comfortable with. Just don't go for that big money all the time. That's how you lose a lot of money. Just focus on those small sizes, so you could trade all the, that with confidence and not really worry about getting squeezed or losing. You want to build confidence, start small. This is going to happen again. There's a watch list called Crypto Watchlist, where I show you how to trade this crypto stocks with Bitcoin. But anyways, those were another monster winners for us in the community. Let's go to some big plays that we had. All right. So before I go there, I also want to talk about all the hotties. So what are hotties? Hotties are the hard themes, the nuclears, the quantums, the drones, the robotics, right? If you see that there were opportunities there, the rockets, you see ASTS was selling off in the morning, you could short that. Rocket Lab was selling in the morning, you see this MTF cloud breakdown, you short that. ACHR, IONQ, QBTS, NNE, SMR, the whole IWM was heavy, and that's why you find the opportunities to short, or in this market. Just need to do the market analysis. That's why we provide all these levels to the traders, so they could trade all these these hottie stocks, IONQ, everything, when the market is dumping, right? So anyways, so you see the whole sector, we never now touching anything long when that was happening. So let's look at our big plays in the community now. All right, so let's start with the play, the main short play. When market is weak, this becomes an A plus setup. When market is heavy, this becomes an A plus setup. So Microsoft, let's start with Microsoft here. So what was happening with Microsoft? So Microsoft was super duper sell off today. Earning play, one of the top earning play. 446 support, I gave him the pre-market. 454 resistance. That means if it moves over 454, we will try to long it. The most of its backlog is OpenAI, so it's all dependent on OpenAI. So hence it was weak. You need to understand a little bit of fundamentals here. What's happening? A lot of Microsoft revenue is dependent on OpenAI, so that's why my investors were selling it. Everything is dependent on OpenAI. Although they beat EPS, beat revenue, I told the traders we only long it if it holds 450. All right, so what happens? Right away, it's a weak. I see the weakness, I see it's going lower. I told the traders short Microsoft. Amateur short means it's your initial short, where if you see it moving amateur to trend, you add into your position. If it's the only amateur short, you cover some, and if it curls, you close it. So anyways, it was a short right at the open, and the first target was 438. Next target I gave was 430. You see that we hit 430 from 444. We hit 430, like $14 flush in just 20 minutes. Next target I go was 425. We hit our 425 target as well. Then we were flagged, hit 421. It was weak all day. Microsoft was weak all day, and then finally end of the day it curled. I sent a alert that 512 curl. This is where you exit short and you could long, and it did give the traders almost $7-8 long on Microsoft when it finally curled. So that was the setup, guys. Home run. The Microsoft, the puts for the traders really went crazy today. Let's take a look at 435 puts. You see the ran from $2.50 to $15, so $2,500 could turn into $15,000. That's how what kind of the trade it was. All you need to do is understand the setup, watch the pre-market lows, hit the short with confidence, right? I was on the voice telling traders to short Microsoft, and I was also guiding continuously on the Microsoft short. You can see my continuous guidance that Microsoft is short on my voice right at the open. It's a short right now. I was told the traders, I was giving the target 432s, then 430s. Immense trade, guys. So learn the Ripster cloud setups. You just respect the clouds and you will have a consistent huge winners. All right, guys, so next one I want to look at Tesla. Let's look at what was our pre-market plan on Tesla here. Let's go through here fast. So Tesla beat EPS, misses on revenue, bearish bias under all MTFs. If MTFs are reclaimed, look for bullish. So that was the game plan. That was the game plan I gave them pre-market, because look at this. It was under all the Ripster MTF clouds, Ripster MTF, big MTF clouds, Ripster 1 hour MTF clouds, and it was breaking. As soon as I see this candle, I tell the traders 440 short versus 440. Take a short right here. right here 436, 437, put the stops at 440, ride it all the way down. The first target I gave was 425, next target I gave was 420, and then I told the traders to roll to the 415 puts. You can see the timestamp guidance, and then finally try to curl. The curls failed there, but this was the morning short from Ripster MTF Cloud. You can see all timestamp guidance there. If you want to look at the options, you could trade the options, you could trade the average ETF, you could trade TSLL. TSLL went from 17 to 16. Under that, you could trade Tesla options. You don't really need to size today. See, this is the thing. Today was a catalyst earning. The stock can really move crazy range. Tesla moved 172% because there is a catalyst. It's a top focus. The one of the biggest, most famous stock in the world has an earnings. It should be your top focus. That trader asked me how to focus. This is your focus. If you don't know that Tesla is not your focus, then you're very behind in trading. You don't really know what are the key stocks in the market which make you consistent profits and which are most liquid, so you can trade them. Okay, so let's look at some puts here. If you want to look at 430 puts, that went from $3 to all the way to $15. So literally you could have 1000% winner there, 500% there. Literally you could take that from $3 to $10, $300 to $1,000, $3,000 to $10,000, and you could literally roll. When I say roll, you could literally roll into the next put option, right? You could literally buy 415 lot of puts. Let's see what 415 lot of puts did. So 415 lot of puts went from 75 cents to $6. You could literally buy those later at $2, $3 and make 100% of that. Let's say you made 4 grand, you take 2 grand of that, you take 700-800 out of that and buy the lottos and make options profit that way. Or you could always trade TSLQ long. You could do the leverage ETF long, buy at $19, sell at $20, $70, make the profit that way. Many ways to make money. But here's the thing, when you trade options, you can't put your whole portfolio in. When you trade the lotto options, you need to assume 100% risk. If I'm assuming $100, $200 risk, let's say on a Tesla puts, I'm looking to turn it to $600, $700, $800 because that's the assumed risk. Whenever you trade a lot of options, your assumed risk is 100%, and you are trying to get to that level of 600, 700, 800% gains because you are listing that 100% risk on those setups. So anyways, that was Tesla trade, guys. Amazing trade, amazing trade, winner for us in the community. Let's look at some other earning plays here. Let's look at Meta. Okay, so let's take a look at Meta. So Meta, it was gapping up. Initially we had a bullish bias, very strong name. Remember, market was heavy, right? So Meta, our pre-market game plan, let's look at the pre-market game plan on Meta. Pre-market game plan was bullish bias to long, watch the amateur pullback. But as soon as I see this candle double topping right here, double tops, I tell the trader double top, do not long, you can short it. Double top, 512 fade, 512 short to 720. You can take the short right here at 734, or you want to wait to the break of the candle. You can short it 730, take all the way to 720, and then as soon as it moved there, I told the traders to move the stops to 725, and I gave the target of 715. We hit 715, then I gave the next target of 712. We hit the 712 target as well. Now came, so you understand the double top shorts, why you do not, and there was a nice trade. You could literally trade Matu puts and make a nice profit there. But then came our beautiful curls. This is the power of Ripster 512 curls. I told the traders, close the shorts right here. Curl versus 720. You buy 722s, $2 risk, 1,000 shares depending on your size, or 100 shares. You're risking $200. By the time we hit 737, you're already making, more than 2 grand, because look at the move from 722 all the way to 735. 200 shares, that's 2 grand, and you're risking $400, and 100 shares you're risking $100, and you may be making more than grand. Of course, you could trade the options as well. The options on Meta, you could trade those reversal. Initially you could trade the puts, and then you're trading the puts. You could trade those 720 puts on the double top, and they went from $3.54 all the way to $10, make 100% trade there. And then when we were doing this meta curl, then you could take those 735 735 calls and take them from $3 all the way to $9 for a 200% gain there on meta. And here you go, and you can see the live stamp guidance as the curls were happening. I told the traders to move the stops up, right? So never in hindsight from me, never in hindsight from me. So always I try to do it real time guidance, timestamp guidance. You see that how meta curled over the 512, and you put the stops there, take some off, hold the curls. I even told the traders to hold the curls, right? 740 was my final target. We actually did hit it, 740 right before the close. So you see the shorts, we shorted, double top short, little different setup, D minus. I don't usually say those shorts, but since the market was heavy, it was a nice easy scalp. But you have to watch this. Your stops are here. If you short here, then your stops are here. But once we short here, we flushed here, we moved the stops to 726 to 725. It was a little choppy, took a sweet time. And also watch how it held this support level. That's why I gave 712, 715. You see that? I said 712, 715 support, and that's exactly where meta was bouncing, guys. So that was a beautiful trade today on our earnings setups. That was our meta. All right, let's go to IBM here. So IBM today was a gap and crap setup. I told the traders no confirmed long, market gap and crap under 318. So that was your short. It was trying to swipe here. You could short this 10 a.m. short, bear flag, take it all the way down. It did fill the MTF clouds there as well. So there were many earning plays, but those were our top guidance. Traders were done with those huge trades, and just the first hour, and everybody was done. Let's look at some next trades here. So let's look at LMT here. LMT was earning play, ran right here. LMT bullish bias to long, because every sector, every stock in this sector ran after earnings. So that was a good one. So there were some other plays in the community. Let's take a look here. Let's take the look, on some of the other setups. So there was another guidance on a TAL, the TAL Education Group. RGV was on top of it. He was targeting his 1240 at the open. He was taking these curls and taking it all the way to $13. That was a good guidance there by RGV on TAL. Let's look at some other setups here. So anyways, guys, looks like the video is going long. That's enough for today. Hopefully you guys learned it. Next time the market is red, remember my teachings, remember the cloud systems, remember the VIX strategy, and make sure you have a good day on that market red day.